We have Matt Sullivan in the studio again, everyone's favorite Wilmington expert, Matt Sullivan. And we have a question from a viewer today. This viewer is Vivian Nick, and this is a slightly upsetting question. The question from Vivian is the downtown Wilmington Library built on a cemetery? Matt Sullivan.
You see how he turned to you? He turned to you like with the dramatic.
Matt Sullivan, is the Wilmington Library built on it? Okay.
I researched this.
Yes.
And I can tell you the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And the dead did not go quietly.
But what do you mean by that?
It's an awesome story.
Okay, tell us the story.
Okay, so April 6th, 1916.
Okay.
A bunch of city fathers get together. They announce they are going to raise $325,000.
Which is like the equivalent of like $830 billion.
Exactly.
Right.
$325,000 to build a new Wilmington Public Library. They get themselves a phone number, by the way. This is cool. Their phone number is 325-000. So if you want to call and contribute, you remember how much they need to raise. So if you dialed 325-000 in Wilmington, you got them.
Okay.
Anyway.
Really?
Yes. They hooked themselves
That's
up.
weird,
They hooked
like
themselves
guerrilla
up with a
marketing in
serious,
1916.
Right.
So there's a headline, huge headline in the paper: $325,000 to be raised for public library. Little subhead halfway through the story that said, changes may necessitate moving entire cemetery to another location. It's like, So there was the...
You know, moving a cemetery is messy business.
The first Presbyterian church had a cemetery there, right? Yeah. And this is how the deal was going to go down. They had a private citizen who was going to buy the land from the church and then donate it. That person didn't want their name out there, but they were going to pay. Right. And the church was like all over this. So the cemetery...
All over it meaning they did not want this.
No. The absolute other direction. The last line of the story said, this matter of the cemetery, this matter was touched upon in the discussion of the meeting, but formal action was not taken, and it's likely nothing definite will be done until some concrete plan can be worked out by the trustees. It was practically agreed, however, that the entire cemetery would be moved.
Wow.
They're like...
So they wanted to move it.
$325,000, where do you want us to put the bodies? Yeah, they were like...
Oh, the Presbyterian Church was like... Sweet.
Yeah.
We're in the body moving
They were
business.
in it. It was called minor details. Minor details.
You know what? That's what I need, Josh. I need a body moving. Body moving.
All right.
Body moving.
3 weeks later.
Not a good joke.
3 weeks later. Free Library gets a setback, says this news headline.
Wow.
Yeah. Minor injunction filed to prevent bodies from being moved from the old burial ground from a woman with a fantastic Delaware name, Emily Cleland Townsend Chew. At the time, she was living in Babylon, New York. And she
Emily Cleland Townsend Chew?
Emily Cleland Townsend Chew.
That's a Delaware name?
Townsend is.
Townsend, yeah.
But yeah, it was, so she had a restraining order. They went to court. Things worked quickly back then because by June 2nd, which is 2 weeks later, arguments had ended. And I want to tell you, if you're a Wilmington Presbyterian Church trustee, what you don't want in the headline about arguments ending end in cemetery sale, judge pronounces case interesting. So the judge hadn't ruled, but he said, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So at the end of the case, the judge stands up there and he says, I have to say, this case is very interesting.
Right. Yes.
I'm going to go ruminate on it for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
He writes a 25,000-word ruling, which I did not read.
That's a book. 25,000 equals a book.
But the headline, 2 months later, Judge Bradford gives injunction in cemetery sale for library site. Subhead, First Presbyterian Church trustees forbidden from disturbing the graves.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Judge cracked down on
So wait a minute. So they had to build the library right on top of the graves?
There was a Christmas miracle. December 14th. Headline, suit withdrawn in library case. Mrs. Chew and others agree to bodies being removed from cemetery. Bodies will be reinterred at the Wilmington and Brandywine Cemetery along Adams Street, near the incline of Park Drive. It is, by the way, still there. Reproduce as nearly as possible as the arrangement of the First Presbyterian Cemetery. And Mrs. Chew comes out with a letter in the local paper explaining her intentions, because apparently she's getting some heat over not letting the library be drawn. Her mother, her father, her brother, her sister, her grandparents, and her great-grandparents were all buried in the cemetery. And she says, and this is some serious early 20th century shade, quote, "Last summer, we were notified to remove our dead and take them elsewhere by a certain time, or they would be removed without further notice to us and placed in some obscure spot in some out-of-the-way graveyard."
You see how he threw that voice on there?
Yeah, he's a nerd.
He's a
So, this is fantastic. So Mrs. Chu got her way. They dug up the bodies. They moved them to where they are now, Wilmington and Brandywine Cemetery. Library went forward. Library was built on a former cemetery site, and that library, the Wilmington and Brandywine Cemetery.
Her letter to the editor was just like, I feel bad.
I want to explain why I took everyone through this thing. She said, everyone said this is a great civic need, this library, but I want to explain why I've been holding it up, and here's her reasons. And they originally weren't going to offer any money to look. They basically said, come get your bodies, or we're moving them.
Wow.
And so
yeah, that's kind of rough. So I heard like, hey, I hear that your grandfather and all of your family are here.
Yeah.
Come get them because we gotta build a thing.
Yeah.
And put some swastikas on the top.
I heard that that the library actually used to hold slaves when they used to come for auction.
It might be the site, but the library was built in like 1916.
Okay.
So that's way past. The library building itself, that wouldn't have been the case. I don't know about the property.
Okay.
So
well, Rodney Square was a thing, right?
Yeah, I heard
that could have been.
Yeah. Because we shot a music video in the basement of the library. Yeah. And it was like it was a Richard Raw video, and it was so spooky. Like, we was like, yo, you feel that? And we was like, yeah.
Are you for real right now?
No, I'm really serious.
You felt something?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in spirits.
You believe in spirits? How about you, Matt?
I believe in energy. I believe,
Next time you're there, just go, Mr. Chu? Mr.
I bet you I won't. I bet you I won't.
Is that you, Mr. Chu?
You won't turn this into an episode of The Ring. You know the black guy always dies. Right at the credits. No.
So, answered the question, which I'm glad we got on Facebook. Answered the question, yes, Wilmington Library built on a cemetery after a big lawsuit, and the bodies are now elsewhere.
So if you have another question, please put it in the comments. For Matt, we want to know what else Matt finds out in Wilmington. Matt, you are awesome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any positive stories that Zach and myself need to talk about, be sure to submit it at stories.wilmington.love.